Hey guys, in this video we'll be continuing with the file operations in Python. This is a continuation of the video series, the Python video series. We'll be deleting a record in our T file, so if you haven't seen the previous videos in the playlist, watch them in the Python playlist so you know what's happening. Because we'll be working with files that we already created. So we'll start with importing the OS module. So here I'll say import OS. That's operating system, I believe. So I'll just create a main function here. So I'll create a Boolean flag, I'll set it to false. So here we'll say search string points to the input function. We'll say which T do you want to delete. We'll throw a new line in there. So we'll say output file. We'll create a file object. We'll say output file here. Points to input. Sorry. Points to open actually, and then we'll have open the file path. So we'll do a Windows path. Your path might be different. It'll be different if you're on a Mac or a Linux machine. So you need to put your path. You can Google it if you're not sure. So I'll do my path. We're going to open it in read mode. And then here we'll have a temp file, so we'll say temp file points to open. The same thing, I'm going to do the same path here, except I'm going to change the name. Here I'll call it temp file instead, so it's going to be two different files. We'll open that one in write mode. So here, sorry, I'll just blanked out for a sec. So here we'll say description points to. So create a description variable, we'll point it to our output file. Dot, we'll call the read line method to read a line in the file. The first line. So again, if I haven't mentioned, if you haven't remembered, if you've seen the other videos, basically we've been using the same file the whole time, so there might be some extra stuff, so you may need to copy this description points to output file.readline. Like I think it's, if you're following me exactly, it'll be maybe 6 to 8 times, something like that. You can just trial and error it. The reason why I say that is because we had some extra data at the top of the file, so it might not be the exact string that this code is looking for, but it should work either way. Anyways, I'll show you guys later on what I mean if you're confused. Basically, we're gonna have to call the readline method to get to the exact data that we need, because the readline method goes only line by line. So every time you call it, when you call it again, it gets the next line below. When you call it again, it gets the line below that. So it continues like that. It only gets one line of text. So for example, this is a line of text. import OS. If that was in the if this was the text file itself, import OS is the first line. So now description is going to point to import space OS. That's going to be what description points to, because readline goes to the first new line, which is right here after the S. So if you call this again like this, now description is going to point to def space main, and these parentheses and this shift semicolon, because every time you call it, it gets the next line, if you know what I mean. So we had some extra data in there, some strings. So I think there's about maybe 6 to 8 different lines of strings. So the exact description that it's looking for might not be the first line, is what I mean. So hopefully that clears that up. So here we'll say, so we'll loop here, we'll create a while loop. So we'll say while description does not equal an empty string, which means that there is something in the file then. Basically that just says while the file is not empty. Then here we'll say quantity points to. So again, here you can cast to an int, a float, whatever you want to grab the data as the type, whatever type you want the data to be for quantity. In this case, I'm just going to keep it as a string, so that it's going to be the default read line, returns a string. So here we'll say output file dot read line. And here we'll strip the new line from the description. So what's going to happen is we're going to call description and say description points to itself, description points to description dot, and we'll call rstrip. Pass in the new line here. It's going to take the new line out. And then we'll say this is correct. Yeah, so here we'll say we'll have another if here. So we'll say if. I believe this is still in the loop, but we'll say if description does not equal to the search string. So if description is not equal to the search string, or search str, then we'll say, then we want to write the data. So we'll say temp file dot write description plus a new line. So here we'll say again temp file, we'll write something else. So we'll write quantity, cast it to a string. I don't think we need to cast it, but we'll just do that anyways, because we never changed the type. Where I was talking about here, where we could change it to a float or an int. But in that case we didn't, so either way it should be fine. So you'll just say we'll concatenate a new line to this again. And otherwise, if the description is not equal to the search string, then we'll have else here. And then we will say so else, then the flag points to true in this case now. Okay, so again, in this textbook, in this university textbook that I have, they didn't. There's no indentations at all. I believe there's no indentations. I'm gonna have to check because it's an Amazon ebook. It's a Kindle version. I'm using it on a computer. I'm not sure if that's the reason why. I'll have to check on an exact Kindle. But it's the Tony Gladys Python book. There's no indentations in the reading on the Amazon Reader on PC, so I'm not sure if that's just a glitch. Because it does change the text around. So I just guess all these indentations. I think now we should say, but a lot of it I actually like elaborate on, so it's not just the code itself. I kind of change it here and there, add my own stuff into it too. Just for like the ideas, like file operations and stuff. But in this case, there's no indentation here. So what we could do is, I think either way, we're going to want to read the next line. So let's get out of the indentation here, get out of the if-else block. Then we'll say description points to output file dot read line. After all that, we'll close the file stream, so we'll say output file dot close. We'll say temp file dot close. And at the end, after all that, we'll comment these out, but we'll call you can call os dot remove. We'll pass in the file path, so we can remove this from the operating system through Python. So we'll say here, I'll put the path again to the files, my files in this case. So we'll also rename the temp file. So I have to pass, I don't really want to write this out again. I guess not really a big deal. Okay, so we'll just have, enter the path for the temp file. So enter the path for the temp file here. I'll pass that in. Then we'll hit a comma, and then we'll put, actually we're going to need, close that, string. Then we'll open another string here. Should open like that. And I'll have the same thing, but with, I'll pass in the output file in this case. That should be all. So we'll comment it out for now, because we're just going to run the program and see if it works. Because if we remove it and rename it while it doesn't work, then it could delete all the data when we still need it. So we'll just do that. Then we'll just have a prompt or an alert if the data wasn't found. So here we'll just say if found, or sorry, if flag which means, again, if flag is equal to true, like this, is exactly the same thing. So then we'll say print the file operation has been updated. The file operation has been updated, else. We'll just print that it was not updated. The file did not update, something like that. Or we could just say that data not found in the file. Whoops, sorry. So data not found in the file, and then here, after all that, we'll just call main outside the function. So that should be everything. There is an error. Where is that? Line 11. Oh, whoops, that's a spelling mistake here. So that should be good. We'll just run it. So that was supposed to do, that was not supposed to happen. What happened here? Oh, this is still in the, that should be fine now because it has to be out of the main functions, which it is now. So I'll run it. It should prompt us, which T do you want to delete? We'll just say red T. Okay, something happened here. Data not found in the file. Let me try this. I think what the reason is because it's not finding the right line to start at. Yeah, okay, so let's try this. Description. Copy that. I think, was it 6 times? I can't remember. Let's just try that. Red T. Nope. Okay, what happened here? I think the thing is that it's not getting the right line to start at. No. Try it this many times. Did I do the path right? File.txt. Why are these? Should be fine. We'll try this. Oh. Let's try another one then. Camo meal. Nope, someone's, it's not getting, there might be some extra files, extra lines of text in there that it's not getting. Search string, which do you want to delete? Open file.txt, open temp file.txt, unless did I use a capital F on there? Must have. Nope. I think it was a capital F. Okay, so we have this. All description is not empty. Quantity points to output file. Dot read line. Description points to description.rstrip if description does not equal search string. Write the data. Unless the loops are messed up. Or the loops messed up. Okay, so let me try this a few more times. I think this is more than the data that there is in the file now. So I'm gonna have to walk through this through the debugger just to see what's happening. Okay, let's just delete this then. I'll set a breakpoint here. Actually move this up. I'll make this smaller a little bit. Okay, actually, no, I won't be able to. That's alright, so we'll just leave it like that. So I set a breakpoint. I'll click the debug icon in the top right corner. You can try to see what's happening here. Okay, so let me move that down. Can't see anything. I'll step into that. So we're going to have flag points of false, search string, which T do you want to delete? I'm going to click the console button. Make that bigger. I'll say I want red T. So output file points to open. Let me click the variables again, or the debugger. I'll step over that. It's going to say that we have something. Okay. What was it telling us? Buffer. Still loading. Value. I hope we didn't delete it last time. I think I commented it out. I don't think that's telling me anything, so let's get out of that. Get out of that. Okay, so just we have our two file objects in this case. Now we have description points output file.readline. What is that giving us? Code. Yeah, there is something in that file. Well, description is not empty, which it's not. It's holding something. There is data in the file, so that loop's going to proceed. That's going to be true. So we're in the loop now. Quantity points to the next line in the file, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's not what we want. Okay, I think that's what's happening here. Okay, so how can we fix this? I could open the file and delete it, but that would stop the recording. Okay, that's probably not an option. Okay, so now description is going to strip the new line. So description. If description is not equal to search string, write the description, else. Okay. Now read the next line. Science. And close it. Close it. If flag is equal to true. Okay, we didn't get there, so it's not getting what we want at this case. There is stuff in the file. It looped again. Okay, why did it loop again? Did it loop again? Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, it did loop again. Which is probably good. Science. Oh, what happened there? Something happened there. Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to redo that again. Okay. Okay, I have to type something here. Which T do you want to delete? Type in red T. Over. Step in. Step over, in, over. Get the next. Okay, science. Close. If. Okay, print the message. So if that's gonna be false, else print. So all descriptions is not equal to an empty string, which is true. So I stepped in, quantity points to output file.readline. Why does it do that? It just stops there. Okay, that's not very good. Python exception. Doesn't like that. Quantity points to output file.read line. Doesn't like that when it reads it again. Is there nothing else in the file? It has to be. Can I open the file from here? I think the video might stop if I do that. I'm just gonna try to do it anyways. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, there's 6 things in the file. So the video didn't stop. Okay, so let's try this. Actually, yeah, let me just do this. Take this once and 5 more times. Whoops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's try that. I might have done a typo, to be honest. Why is there something? Yeah, I think it might be something to do also with these indentations. But let's just try this. Okay, let's run that through the debugger. Step in, step over, enter something to search for. I want red T in this case. Whoops. Alright, so now let's step over this. Let's step over that. Apologize for that. Step over that. Step over. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. Science. Invest. Science. Why did I print science again? Oh, one more time maybe. Okay, I think it was 7 actually. Okay, let's just apologize for that. Let's just add 1 more in there just to see if that hits it. Because there's extra data in the file, I'm trying to get to that line, so let's just try this one more time. So enter red T. Step over those. That. There we go, we got it. While description is not equal to. Hopefully that's the right one. While description is not equal nothing, proceed, which is true. Quantity points to, so the quantity now is going to get the number that we need. Perfect. Description points to description.rstrip. Okay, take out the new line. If description is not equal, search string. Step in. There we go, this time we got it. Flag set to true. Description points to output file.read line. There we go, we got it there. This thing's still running though. Okay, so there was, I think this was supposed to just exit after that first iteration. Okay, I know why. I think I know why. This should be, it's not telling us the exception, is it? But I think this output file.close and temp file.close should be out of the loop. It's not saying. IO operation on close file. Okay, it is telling us IO operation on close file, and in the next part of the videos we'll be going over exceptions, so don't worry about that if you don't understand. So that's just saying that input output operations on close file, and in that case we can just move this out of the loop. Now it's out of the loop because it's not in the indentation of the while loop. We can run that now. What happened there? Unexpected indent. Now where's that? Line 27. Okay, yeah, this should probably be out of the indentations too in this case. Let's save that one. Run it. Which T do you want to delete? I'll type in red T. There you go, the file operation has been updated. So there, we finally got it. That wasn't the... There shouldn't be an error now. There you go. So yeah, so apologize for that, we had some extra errors. So in this code, we learned how to delete the... We finally learned how to delete the data from the file, rename it, update it, whatever. So this is going to end the file operations. We've gone through all of them. Read, write, append. We've played around with them all. We've created pass. We've learned how to create pass. Search line by line. Loop through the file line by line. Search for things. Change the types to int to float. Pretty much everything. Use a Boolean flag for it. So now you can uncomment these hashtags, and you can use the operating system remove and rename to remove and rename the files. That should have a string on there. Okay, yeah, that should be pretty much it. Hopefully guys, you learned something. If you guys like the video, you can give the channel a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to the channel if you'd like. There will be more programming languages coming out, more Python tutorials. So yeah, so if you guys want to see more, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and take care.